All right, everybody, welcome in.
All right, pause that real quick.
Real,
Just messing around.
real talk with Spoon and Pudding. I'll be the one and only Big Spoon.
Just pudding over here. You got a disclaimer to read, or you want to worry about it, or you don't care?
Yeah, I got it. This is episode 58. The primary purpose of this podcast is to educate and share thoughts and opinions. When we have proof and evidence on the topic, it will be brought forward. This podcast does not constitute advice or services to anyone. Spoon and Pudding do not accept any responsibility or liability for our guests or anyone's comments or actions based on the material we talk about on our podcast. This podcast is private and non-commercial use, and everyone should ascertain that the information we provide is correct and verified at all times. There shall be no adding to, editing, reproduction of this podcast without prior written permission from Spoon and Pudding. You can reach us at Real Talk Spoon and Pudding or Real Talk with Spoon and Pudding at gmail.com. What's going on?
No, not much. You was tired yesterday and you slept. Missed it, but whatever. You need some rest. But now we heard about that Epstein calendar. It was pretty interesting. CIA chief, former White House counsel, after he was, that's people need to really they really need to start releasing this stuff.
Well, I posted something on my personal Facebook page probably a week or two ago and said everything, something about like everything is public news or public knowledge except for the Epstein client list. That's the only thing that's private in this country. I think the funny thing is if you look at some of those, I don't know what you call them, backers, people that's involved, like the Rothschilds, doesn't it seem that anything that happens that is a demise to this country or the people, you always got the same top 1% involved? Goldman Sachs, Rothschild.
Russell Brand keeps putting it, I think, or he talks about the function of government is to funnel the money from the people uphill. And but what I heard Sunday with and if y'all want to hear, I think he really breaks the news for the week, or Luke Radowski or whatever. We Are Change. Your neighbor, you don't like well, he's got a strong stance against police, and that's but I know but like I said, I said, look, if you get rid of the police thing, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? There's no reason not to like the guy.
Well, I still like him, but I still like him with that. But
I'm not gonna, like I said, I was just saying, if you just ignore the police thing, you like everything pretty much the guy does. So but what I like about him is he puts out his first weekly video on Sunday, and he usually brings up something that intrigues me, which is the Epstein story. So I sent it to you Sunday night and told you, hey, maybe for tomorrow on the podcast. And then when I didn't hear from you, I was like, yeah, he's asleep. We just decided to kick it to today. So, but no, he said, it says, here, New York Post article. I said the trove of papers obtained from the Wall Street Journal shows meetings between Epstein and several prominent people, including three meetings with William Burns, the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, when he was the Deputy Secretary of State in 2014. So, there's something here. There's definitely, and they could send people to that island to try and entrap them and get them under control,
Well, what the disturbing thing is, you even got the CIA in on it,
Well, yeah, I mean, as much as we've talked about, like say Will Smith, that was one that shocked me that he was down there. But you realize that was way before Epstein was dead, and maybe the CIA wanted some, or the heads of people, like I said, maybe they wanted control.
Yeah, but there's so many people in this country that think that their government is good and that they can trust their government. And if you go back in history and look at the things that the CIA and the FBI or the ATF is involved in, they're always connected to bad things that happen to the people of this country.
Oh yeah, this
JFK was it November 21st, 1963? JFK assassination.
I think so. We didn't talk about that backwards thing yet, did we?
No, I think we need to do a whole show on that one. But I mean, you can bring it up.
No, I was just hearing LBJ say what he said, and that was as clear as a bell. I mean, the speech was about. He started out with a speech taking January 20th, 1961, when JFK went into the White House, and he's going on talking about JFK, and then you play that speech backwards, and it says we knocked him off, and it was like, that's. I mean, like I said, that's one of those. Like I said, if you want to hold that for a whole episode to talk about, it was fascinating.
It's just the point. When he was assassinated, we know LBJ was involved. We know the FBI and CIA were involved. Yes,
there's a lot of people involved. There's a lot that was, and after you watched that Ron Paul video I sent you, or at least the first half of it, did you get to the part where Ron Paul's talked about that was the most driving event for him that made him want to go into politics?
Yep.
So that was the event for him where he recognized this is a coup. We are in trouble.
He mentioned the two biggest things, and I've reiterated this with you and on here before. His two were 1913 and then 1963. But 1963 was his.
That was the catalyst that he said, I got to go do something or at least try.
Yeah.
Well, 1913 in the Fed, of course, he witnessed that, money takeover, or he talks about that money takeover a lot, and the taxes, constitutional taxes. That was what really, when I first started listening to Ron Paul, that was what really drove me, because it was so funny, and he's still sharp as a whip, even today. He's not dementiaed at all, but you sit there and like the reporter. I remember the reporter stuck a camera in his face, and it was like 2008 or something, 2007. Porter stuck a camera in his face and said, well, without income taxes, how would the government function? And he's standing there in DC, and he's like, this whole city was built before income taxes. We built this city, without income taxes. Income taxes are just, it's a way of control. It's a pressure. It's a thumb piece to put over top of people. That's all it is. They don't run and function on income taxes anymore. They haven't done it for years, for decades. Since if there's a deficit, they're not functioning on taxes. That's all there is. If they're in debt and there's a deficit, they're not functioning on taxes. That's just fact. They're getting the money somewhere else. The government, the paycheck to those in government employees, it came from somewhere else.
At the rate they print money.
Oh yeah, doesn't matter. It don't matter at all. But that's the point. Like I said, you got the CIA and Epstein and the calendar, and all this shit's connected. But you think that he's got his island out there, and was it a setup island to get people out there to have some young hot girl come over to him and try to coerce them into doing something they shouldn't? Then after the fact, oh hey, by the way, she's only 17 or she's only 16. Oh, we got you on tape over here. You're going to do what, you're going to do what our bosses want you to. I could definitely see that.
But you talked about you were kind of shocked that Will Smith had been there. I was shocked by a few of them being there, honestly. The whole Hollywood thing, none of it shocked me, because I'm one of those conspiracy theorists, and I think Hollywood is a big organization but
Will Smith's life has been very public, and for the longest time everybody talked about how much of a family man he wanted to be, and then it come out that his wife was the one doing the bad things, and that was like, whoa.
Maybe he went down there to chase her because she was already down there doing bad things.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, but still, he got down there, and that's enough.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I am not even going to go on a. Like I said, I used to like Chris Rock, but after that last special where he talked about it, that is a racist SOB. I am sorry. You could see it all over his face.
You don't like Chris Rock?
Not no more. No, I think he done hit the chief. He done slid into the race. I'm a racist spot now. That's all I can say about it. And racism is two way. Anybody can be. I'm racist. Hey, whatever. You know, I look at the first thing I see about somebody. What color are you?
He's funny, but he's not as good as Dave Chappelle. I'm sorry.
No, God, no. Dave Chappelle's a master. You know, I mean, you remember? Did you watch some of the Chappelle show when he was talking about Dave Chappelle, written and directed by Dave Chappelle? Did you see that skit? he's in the shower, got Halle Berry in the shower, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Richard? Oh, hey, man. Oh, you got Eddie Murphy on the phone? Oh, hey, you know, like he put himself up in it. You know, he projected himself into that class. You know what I mean? Chappelle is a master, but I didn't see Chappelle's name on that list.
Yeah,
but I mean, I was saying, I was just saying the Will Smith thing was, you know, one that knowing how his thing was, it was a little shocking that he was there in the island. But it's not saying that he wasn't given some free vacay on the island where they would try to set him up. You know, I mean, again, it was somebody, I think, from that Lone Gunman series, you know, that came from the X-Files that went over there. And speaking of the X-Files, that Bob Lazar at the end of that backwards thing where, you know, he was basically saying it's a fraud and backwards. I was like, oh man, this could all just be a fraud.
We had a comment on Facebook that said Dave Chappelle's a legend. You're absolutely right. You get like Chris Rock's funny, but he's you know, he's down here.
He was well, back in the day. I mean, I'll tell you what, back in, you know, 20 years ago, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle were, you know what I mean? You know, Dave Chappelle's career just done this, and Chris Rock's just kind of been, to me, flat. I don't know. I think he's been flat and declining.
Well, he went and done a whole lot of movies. So,
and Chris Rock,
you know that Hobbit in the background? She's making too much noise.
And
while we're on this topic, let's do. I'm gonna do this the right way since we're on air and everybody can hear it. Don't say nothing bad about my wife. I'm gonna Will Smith you. You got that?
Oh yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's got enough bad to say about you.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. You don't want me. I'm gonna. If you ever say anything bad about her, I'm gonna have to Will Smith you. That's all. Just everybody can hear it now.
Will Smith you. What's that mean? Get jiggy with it.
No, I'm gonna walk up on stage and slap the shit.
Oh yeah.
Truth, facts.
But no, we didn't really have too much today. Did you have anything? Just y'all can look up the story. You know, if you go Jeffrey Epstein's calendar, it was posted on 4:30 by the New York Post. Shows a little bit about it, and there's also a nice little picture of I thought that was funny. You get my screen bright turned down.
You need to put that picture up there.
Which one? This one? That one?
No, I was talking.
You don't want that one?
You can have that one.
I love that, you know, because there's so many people out there that, you know. Bless you. She ain't feeling good. Oh boy. She wasn't feeling good Sunday, so she's still not feeling good.
Well, like that Catherine Rumler, who served as the White House counsel under Obama, met with Epstein dozens of times in the years between her White House career and her next job as attorney of Goldman Sachs. Like I said,
Goldman Sachs, another upstanding organization that doesn't do any of the printing of the money, well, they don't print the money. The Fed prints the money and it just says, "Oh yeah, how much you need? Oh, here you go." Yeah.
That's what I said. Don't you? I think it's ironic that anytime that's anything bad happens to this country or the people,
it's the people's fault.
Well, you always
it's the people's fault. It's the people's fault. And the same bad actors that always head up the problem or screw up or make the goof up, they're the ones that get the bailout, and then the people get to pay for it. And again, go back to Ron Paul and his taxes. He literally said it. And why you want to pay for it? Why?
I never want to vote for the rich white man as president. Me and you both, we don't belong to. Well, I don't belong to any political party, and I certainly don't never vote Democrat or Republican again until things change. But if I ever was going to vote for old white man, it would be
Ron
Paul. Yeah,
Ron Paul was it. That was it. He was the man, and they killed him. They crushed him. They really did. Like I said, just thinking about him sitting there with that report. The reporter thought they had something. How would the government function? He said, "We built this whole city before income taxes." No, he said income taxes is theft. If you believe that, hit the like button.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing on the local level here. We talked about where they said, "Well, you got to have the rooftops before you get this, and we done a show and I proved that Mount Juliet did the opposite. They built the stores and the restaurants, and then the roofs come. Yeah, so they just try to lie to you.
Well, yesterday we went to that new Publix down there in Gallatin. Oh man, that thing is nice. She wasn't a big fan of the Japanese. There's a Japanese place that's already open. She's like, "Oh, it's called Paper Plate Hibachi." It was her little joke. But
which one is that?
It's okay. There's a Japanese grill around the back on the northeast corner of the plaza down there. Like if you're going up 109 before you turn left and come up where Dutch Brothers is, you turn in left, you'll see it there. It's in the back corner. But
what that burger place or whatever it is right there?
Muya. I want to go there. The Muya. I want to try it eventually, but that was where I went there first.
I hadn't been there. I think the wife and kids went there, and they said it was pretty good. But
that was what I was going there mainly. Well, we were in Gallatin yesterday, and I was like, "Well, let's go." There's something at Publix, and then the way I come in, we seen the Japanese grill, and Michelle's all about Japanese, so we was kind of like, okay, so come around the front to go to the Russian roll, and the 7-Eleven down there is going to have Laredo Taco in it, which I love Laredo Taco. It's one of my favorite taco companies.
7-Eleven. You could not use the big milk cup for the Slippy.
Yes, well, we're getting one. So but it says Laredo Taco, which going to Texas, I've had them for over a decade. They're usually the tortillas are pressed right there and grilled, so it's pretty good. Like for breakfast, my favorite breakfast burrito they got is chorizo and eggs, and it's pretty good. They do a good job of making that one. But but that's coming. But I was,
chorizo.
I love chorizo. It's not the cheap one. The cheap one you cook square. Don't buy that again. But no, we went there to get the car washed, and then we going to go to Muya. But she's seen Japanese, but $14 for steak and chicken. So what was on the paper plate? Still steak and chicken. It wasn't the greatest. No, was it? Okay, whatever. Here, no, it was not.
It was $14 for one or both of you.
One for one. Oh no, it was $14 for both of us. Whew.
It's like $14 for one. It better be pretty damn good.
Well, the normal hibachi place is like $25 a person. And that's without a drink.
I'm sure it's better than Koi down in Gallatin. I can't stand that place.
I don't know. The portion wasn't as plentiful as Koi.
Yeah, they don't give Koi don't give you much meat. You get all vegetables and noodles.
I don't get noodles at Koi. What are you talking about? It's just rice mainly.
No, at the end they even cook noodles, teriyaki noodles. You don't get that?
Oh, was it them that did that?
Yeah.
I thought they did that at the one in Shogun up there in Bowling Green.
Yeah, they do too.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember Koi doing the noodles.
No, Koi don't. I'm pretty sure they did, but
I don't know. But anyway, that's just you know. Our favorite thing about the Japanese, like some of those Japanese like hibachi places, the ginger sauce. I love that ginger sauce. You know, but the one down there, she didn't like the ginger sauce, and I can admit it wasn't very ginger flavor.
It was cheap, watered down.
It's like teriyaki with some sprinkles of ginger in it. You know what I mean? It's like, we know about ginger sauce, too expensive. We just take teriyaki and then put like a jar of ginger, spin it up. That's ginger sauce. You know?
Yeah, but they ain't none of them around good as Shogun, I don't think.
I don't know. Well, no, there's one in Florida, man, that, you know, me and
I'm talking about around here.
No, around here, yeah, I think Shogun and Bowling Green's the best. She'll agree with you on that. You know, the
one in Goodlettsville that used
Shogun
to be
and Bowling Green. She doesn't like that one. She was mad at you for suggesting it because they put potatoes in it.
I love potatoes in my vegetables.
She's back so nasty when all she heard was potatoes, and it just turns her off. She's like, I'm not paying for. You're paying a premium for that plate of food, you know, Spoon. You know you are.
The potatoes and the vegetables.
Why are they throwing a potato in there to just stretch it out? Potato on top of rice. Come on. I agree with her. But Shogun and Bowling Green was much better. No potatoes. Huh? What? Florida. Yeah, Florida. No, she's talking about the one in Florida that we went to in Orange Park. It used to be called Sushi Rock. But that one, there's no potatoes, and but there is a good one down there in Hendersonville by the it wasn't hibachi, it was Mongolian. It's across the street from Sam's Club, and there, instead of rice, you can get cabbage. So you could literally have a meal with 0 carbs if you wanted to. Well, it's low grade meat. Yeah. Would you like here? You want to do it?
What'd you say it was?
She's screaming, it's low grade meat,
Well, you're married to low grade meat.
Oh, burn. He called you low grade meat.
No, I was talking about you. She's married to you.
Burn on me. Oh, okay. I'm going to Will Smith you. Oh, boy.
I'm about done.
You're done? All right. Well, we'll end on that note. Everyone going to be Will Smith and everybody. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.
All right. Later.